What's up, lover researchers? It's Kevin. Welcome to part 2 of our step-by-step series on planning a UX research study. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, go watch it up here. In that video, I describe our problem and the background to the question that we're trying to solve. So, my little homework assignment for you was to think about how you might design a study. Well, did you do it? How'd it go? If you thought of some ideas, great. A few of you have sent me your ideas. Loved reading them. Good job. If you're a little stuck, that's okay. In this video, we're going to go over our study design, tools we'll use, and how we'll conduct the study. And in the next videos, we're going to actually go out and test it with strangers. Back to my roots. And if you want to augment your knowledge with UX courses from one of the world's largest UX communities, go check out the Interaction Design Foundation. The Interaction Design Foundation provides you with all the courses from beginner to advanced user research techniques. When I was trying to get into UX research, I used their resources a lot. And I know some of you have also taken some of their certifications too. You get 3 months of free membership to take all the classes you want if you use my referral link down in the description below. So please check out that invaluable resource because I think it will help you not only along this project, but beyond throughout your career. So go check it out. Anyway, if you're ready for part 2 of this project, I'm ready. Let's get it. Before we jump into the plan, let me reiterate the goals of this study. Determine which of the 2 ballots yields a lower rate of undervoting in the Senate race, and identify any general usability issues and recommendations for an improved ballot design. So, did you think about how to approach these questions? If you haven't done it yourself yet, pause the video, think about who the participants are, how many, what kind of methods might you use. Just brainstorm. Cool. You ready? Here's a study plan. And again, by no means is it the only way to do it. These are just ideas you could try. In terms of our participants, who we want to talk to, fairly simple. I want to test with people who are not familiar with the Florida ballot design. Also, people who are over 18, ideally registered voters. But again, it doesn't really matter that much because it's a usability test. It's a ballot. Theoretically, anyone should be able to do it. Other criteria include being physically able to hold a pen for a usability test and being able to speak English. Yes, I understand the ballot is in English, Spanish, and Haitian Creole, but I don't speak Haitian Creole. And Spanish-wise, tomé un curso de español por casi 5 años, pero me olvidé todos.
Ooh, you suck!
Smash that like button for those Spanish skills. Alright, so that's who we want to talk to. What about the methods? What could we use? Let's do a hybrid study, a qualitative and a quantitative study. See, isn't this great? You get exposure to both. Let me talk about why I want to do both. In terms of the quantitative side, let's do a survey, but not in the traditional sense of like, what do you like, what do you dislike kind of survey. I mean, an online, unmoderated, click test type of survey. The reason I want to do this is I want to see if there's a difference between the voting rates for senator between the 2 ballots. If one of them shows a significant difference, we can infer then that people aren't purposely missing it and that they're accidentally missing it because everything else is the same on the ballot. So that'll be exciting. And I want to combine this with a qualitative usability test so that we can capture what we can't capture online. Let's talk about the quantitative survey. So I don't know how many participants I can get personally, but ideally we'd want a pretty large number in the several hundreds, maybe even thousands.
It's over 9,000!
If we want a lower margin of error. But I don't know if I can afford thousands, so we'll see what we can get. For this part, I'm going to put the ballots on an online tool called Qualtrics. And I'm going to use a really cool, very specialized feature that Qualtrics has called the hotspot feature. The hotspot allows me to set different areas on the image where people can click, and I can track where they're clicking. Unfortunately, Qualtrics isn't free, so I'm going to show you on my screen how to do it in the next video. If you happen to have an account, try it yourself. All I'm going to do is to have participants complete one task on one of the ballots. Alright, so they're not going to see both, just one. This is called a between subjects study because they only see one condition. Now the task I'm going to have to do is just to fill in the ballot as you would in a real election. And since we have fake characters, I don't really have to tell them who to vote for, just whoever they want to vote for. Pretty simple. Then I'm going to administer the ASQ, or After Scenario Questionnaire. This is a 3-item questionnaire just to ask them, if they found it easy enough to do. Now, if you've done any research around like UX research scales, you've probably come across the System Usability Scale, NASA TLX, or others, right? Personally, I didn't go for these because I think they're a bit overkill. I also considered this SEQ, but I didn't think that was enough. So you see there's a balance between how many questions you want to ask and what information you want to get. If you do choose to use other scales, feel free to do it and let me know what you find. Right, let's talk about the qualitative study now. For this one, we're going to gather qualitative feedback on why things are happening. So I'm thinking of getting participants to fill in both ballots, one after the other. This is called the within subjects design, where they see multiple conditions. So when you're dealing with within subjects, you always want to consider order effects. To combat order effects, consider counterbalancing the stimuli. What this means is, for example, if your first participant sees ballot A, then ballot B, switch it up for the next participant. So participant 2 sees ballot B first, and then ballot A. Make sense? Now, how many participants should we test? Did you say 5? Technically, sure, but it's a trick question on my part. Why? Because there's 2 designs, and if we only have 5 participants, 3 of them are going to see ballot A first, and only 2 are going to see ballot B first. So in the name of fairness, let's aim for 6 to 8. Not too much more, because that's just going to be diminishing returns, but we want to have each ballot give a fair chance to appear first. So how's this going to work? Let's have participants fill in the first ballot while thinking aloud as they go along. After they've finished the ballot, administer the ASQ, or whatever scale you want to do. Then repeat the same process for the second ballot. At the end, have them take a look at both, give their overall impressions, and then finally ask them, what do you prefer? Why? Now this is the part where I want you to go out and actually do it. For the survey, for the Qualtrics part, yeah, maybe you don't have the tool and it's a little difficult, but this one, anyone can do it, right? If you're uncomfortable with that, do it with your friends and family first. But if you want to go the extra mile, go to some public space, the mall, the library, coffee shop, town hall, city hall, strip club, wherever there's diversity in people. Theoretically, anyone over 18 can vote. So wherever you can find people to help you with this study. And if you end up doing this, take a photo. Of course, get consent first. Hashtag 0 2UX project and tag me in it at 0 2UX. I want to see what you come up with. This is going to be exciting. So that's it. That's the study plan. What do you think? And again, this is not the only way to approach this problem. I'm doing this just to show you an example of the step-by-step, but if you have other ideas that you want to try, feel free to tweak the plan. The most important thing is for you to try it out yourself or with a friend. In the upcoming videos, I'm going to actually show you how I set up the Qualtrics survey and run it. And in the next one, I'm going to actually go out and conduct a study with strangers. And don't forget that if you want to augment your knowledge with UX classes from the Interaction Design Foundation, check out my referral link in the description below for 3 months of free membership. You can take all the classes that you want to help you in your UX research journey. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something. I've also been reading some of your projects that you sent me. Great job. Smash the like button and subscribe. I make all things UX research related to help you become the most badass UX leader. Mad love. Peace!